wanted to do a video on what got me started in the aquarium hobby. Here is an old 10-gallon aquarium that I bought back in 2007, maybe 2008, that started my interest in the aquarium hobby. And as you can see today, it is filled with stuff that would be on my garage floor, but made a nice little container for it. But I started in this hobby with this aquarium with some neon tetras, some swordtails, I think some other mollies, you know, very limited and few because of I was trying to abide by the 1 inch per gallon per fish rule, but it started the interest, and even into my children and my son especially, he really enjoyed this hobby with me. But when we moved to Florida, it kind of got left behind and ended up out back in the yard full of leaves and gunk, and I'll come back to the story later of how it ended up on top of my refrigerator in the garage. But in 2012 we bought our home here in Florida, and I was wanting to get back into the hobby, and so I bought this 20-gallon aquarium, and we expanded a few more fish, again just beginner style fish. Then we eventually added an angelfish or two in here with some neon tetras. Again, I'm not really sure what species go with what, and it was a learning process, but as I stated, my son really started enjoying the hobby. And here now we have it as when our African cichlid and mbunas have babies, we put them in here and as a little bit of a grow out tank for them until they go now into a 55-gallon aquarium that we have since purchased. But this was just to get back into the hobby. You'll see in there some red top zebra fry, some Kenyai fry back here. We will also have some, I'm not sure the scientific term for them, but you can see this little guy under the sponge filter there. That's a blue lip African cichlid and mbuna, which I really just have fallen in love with those. The males have beautiful colors when they are trying to breed with the females, and their lips are a bright blue. I really like them. But anyway, that's what this tank is evolved into now. But I say all this to say that as I got into the hobby and started really getting interested, especially with my son, I had really wished that I had gotten a bigger aquarium. And realizing how much these things cost and the money that was starting to build up into the investment of these things, I went to Craigslist and started looking around trying to find a bigger aquarium, and I came across this really beautiful piece of furniture, this 46-gallon bow front aquarium. And all of a sudden I really like bow fronts. A friend of mine, he don't care for them, but I do. I like them. And we bought this one back in I think the summer of 2017, I believe, or the spring of 2017. I got it for $300. It came with some filters, some heaters, and all the snails I wanted I found out eventually. And it was a time to actually get rid of those snails because I didn't really care for them. But we had this all the way up until this past October of 2018, and it developed a leak in this back corner right here. And so what I want to do eventually is refurbish this aquarium, reseal it, and maybe we'll do a video on that. And along with that, we'll do this 10-gallon aquarium too, because that's why we quit using it. My son cleaned it out in the backyard, and whenever we went from this 20-gallon aquarium here to this 46-gallon aquarium, we split up the fish because I really started wanting to get into the African cichlid and mbunas. I just love their colors. I love this species of fish, and as you'll see, I've done some livefishdirect.com unboxings, and I actually got another one I'll probably do here today or tomorrow as we got some more fish coming in. But I just really like the African cichlid and mbunas, and it's a learning process. I know you could probably see from my previous videos mistakes I've made. I'm sure you could comment and teach me a lot more about that. But when we went to this tank as an African cichlid and mbuna tank, I had to take out the other fish and replace them. And so at the time, because this is all I had was this 20-gallon here, and then my son went to work on this 10-gallon. We set them up on a homemade tank stand that we got from an old microwave cart, and was able to rehome these fish in here for the temporary until we was able to do something else. And here, right here, I'll show you this real quick too. I briefly got this 3-gallon tank as a glowfish tank, and that was really cool while it lasted. But we eventually went to this app called Let Go, and in our area, and we found 2 more tanks, which I'll show you. That my son, he wanted his own tank in his own room, and then my youngest daughter, she wanted a tank in her room, because we just found out this was a great way to bring family time together that we all enjoy. And I will say that my son does most of our aquascaping, and he does a great job, as you've seen in the 150-gallon aquarium that I'm going to show you after a while. Also, although that was the 4th tank that we got, was that 150-gallon aquarium over at my office at the church, and I'll show that here in just a moment. And then in our progression of acquiring more aquariums, I come across a friend of mine who was trying to get rid of a 150-gallon aquarium that actually had some convicts in it, some frontosis, a nice sized placo, and a few other fish that was in there. There's about 10 fish in this tank at that time, and I have rehomed those fish, all but the placo. He's still here. Again, we just restocked it with some African cichlid and bunas, and I did a video on the unboxing of from livefishdirect.com 75 African cichlid and bunas, and of those 75 we now have 61 in this tank. However, I just took out 8 yesterday to rehome in one of my tanks at home that I am covering. Again, all of my structure here was done, the aquascape was done by my son. He has been such a help in this area, and I thank him for all of his help on this. He does a fabulous job in all of our scaping in all of our tanks. But again, this is the 150 at the church in my office, and I'm very pleased with this tank and how it looks, and the fish as well. So I hope y'all enjoy this. And we do change the aquascape from time to time just to change it up a little bit. And on the Let Go app, we found this 55-gallon aquarium, which my son's like, he's got to do a water change here and do some cleaning up here. We found this, we got it for $200, and it comes with a filter and heater, and we really like this as well. My son put this in his room, and here we're got some more. We just bought some plants last night that we're trying to get rooted, and we tied around those rocks there. But my son put in here the angelfish, and then he's got some cherry barbs in here, and he's wanting to put some other fish in here. He's got some pictus catfish that are just absolutely beautiful. I really like. Let's see if we see that guy back there. One inside the little stump here. Hey buddy, these angelfish are beautiful. Where is he? He's under there, but we got 3 pictus catfish in here, and they're just absolutely amazing. And we've never been into live plants, but we started. My son did start into these live plants and really like these. But this was the next aquarium that we got on our list as we enjoy this hobby. And then from there, in my daughter's room, we got this 55-gallon aquarium from Let Go, used aquarium, but it's been very nice. We've enjoyed it, and right now it's rehoming some African cichlid that I brought from the church. I'm actually going to place in my aquarium in the living room where the 46-gallon was until it sprang that leak. And up here we have some lab eggs that we just stripped the other day from a female, and we got a homemade tumbler using an old water bottle, that we got off of from YouTube from somebody, from a do-it-yourself tumbler made from pantyhose and a air stone and an old water bottle. Works out great. We've hatched a lot of fry from this, but we will be putting these into my newest gift the kids got me for my birthday yesterday, because I was tempted to bring this into the living room, this aquarium here, into the living room where the 46 gallon was, just until I could afford to buy another aquarium after that 46 gallon sprung that leak, that bow front. But I always had wanted a 72 gallon bow front, and yesterday for my birthday my family surprised me with that, and I will show you that here in just a moment. And here is the 72 gallon bow front aquarium that my family surprised me with for my birthday. It's one I've always wanted, that I just knew would go perfect on this wall here in our living room. I'm very excited about it. My son's going to begin aquascaping it here directly. We've been waiting to get this all set up so that we can have some new fish that I brought in that we're ready to put into the aquarium now, to show it off to its fullest. I'm so excited about this. We will do an instant cycling because we're using a filter with the media in it that's already got the bacteria, so we can do an instant water cycle with it for these fish. But this is my dream aquarium so far. I've been so excited about this and excited to actually have it, and I'll show you what it looks like when we get it all done. Thank you. Well, here everything is all set up, fish all in. I am so pleased with how this 72 gallon bow front aquarium ended up. The fish are great. Again, livefishdirect.com, thank you. Although in here I've only put 4 that I didn't have in here from Live Fish Direct. Now I put a total of 8 fish in here, new, added to what I had, which gives me about 26 fish in this 72 gallon aquarium. Very pleased. That blueberry obie right there I got from Live Fish Direct back in June of last year. He was about 1.25 inches when I got him. He's grown really well. In January, that obie under there I got from livefishdirect.com. You see him right there, back a year ago, and he's doing wonderful. These pearl whites, got them about a year ago, and I brought them over here from the church to this tank, just because I think they're real pretty, and I'm here quite a bit more than I am at the office, so I thought I'd bring them home to enjoy them here in this aquarium. But again, very pleased with my order and my birthday gift. And all the rest of the other, outside of the 4 that I just put in this tank from livefishdirect.com, the other 14 look really good, and I'll show you that real quick. Alright, and here's the other 14 that I got from livefishdirect.com that I had the unboxing on. They're all doing wonderful. I got the assorted mix. The Dasani you see in there were some that I ordered separately from the assorted mix because I just really like them. And that pearl white right there I actually got a year ago. He just had some growth issues compared to his buddies who are in the other tank, but I've got him in this little grow out 55 gallon tank here in my daughter's room to let these get some size on before they go into the bigger tanks. But anyway, that's a history of my experience in the aquarium hobby. I really like it, and I know there's a lot of mistakes I do, but you learn by trial and error, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, the bonding time with my kids have made it worthwhile. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give me a like, and have a good day.